A 5-year-old died in a house fire in Owsley County early this morning. Coming up, we're speaking with neighbors who tried to save her.
Neighbors say they received text messages asking for help about an hour's time before police came knocking on their doors saying to evacuate. Coming up, I'll break down how police made sure a barricade situation in Madison County ended peacefully.
The Fayette County School Superintendent has unveiled the plan he hopes will fix problems the state pointed out. I'll show you the details coming up.
This is WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon from WKYT News. I'm Barbara Bailey.
I'm Bill Bryant. Here's what's happening at noon. We begin with a tragic story out of eastern Kentucky. A family is mourning the death of a 5-year-old girl who was killed in an overnight house fire. That fire broke out around midnight this morning at a home on Old Kentucky 11 near Boonville. The coroner says the mother and one child managed to escape the flames, but her daughter didn't make it. WKYT's Mark Barber is in Owsley County, where crews are still at the scene at this noon hour, and that is our top story at noon. Mark?
The coroner says the 5-year-old who died in the fire was found in a bedroom inside the home. Heartbroken neighbors tell me they tried to pull the little girl from that room, but they say they could not break through the heavy smoke and flames.
We could hear her. We just couldn't find her.
Teresa Lee says she broke through the girl's bedroom window with her husband, but the fire pushed them away. Then they tried to jump through the front door with a wet blanket, but they could not get past the wall of flames. The fire started around 2 this morning at a home off Old Highway 11. State police tell WKYT the mother was able to escape with her 3-year-old daughter, but she was not able to save her 5-year-old. Lee says she heard her neighbor screaming for help before she was rushed to the hospital. Now, she watches investigators pick through what's left of the home, waiting to hear what sparked this heartbreak.
I hope it was an accident. If it wasn't, whoever did this needs to be punished. A 5-year-old innocent little child died last night for no reason.
So was this fire started on purpose? That's the question that investigators are now working to answer. I'm told the mother who escaped the flames told neighbors that a man had burned down her house. Coming up on WKYT News at 12:30, we'll take a look at what fire investigators are doing to figure out if this is a case of arson. In Owsley County, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. The mother and the 3-year-old who escaped from the burning home are both expected to recover. State police say they were hospitalized for smoke inhalation. The coroner won't identify the 5-year-old who died until he has notified her family.
We are learning more about the circumstances behind a hostage situation in central Kentucky. It lasted more than 9 hours. The standoff started around midnight on East Hayti Road in Berea. State police say Gene Charlton held his wife and 2 children against their will. As WKYT's Caitlin Sentner reports, he apparently never should have been at the house in the first place.
Neighbors say they received text messages asking for help just before midnight Tuesday night, but it wasn't until police came knocking and said that they needed to evacuate that they knew something was really wrong. After a 9-hour standoff, police were able to say Wednesday morning that everyone inside a Berea home is okay. It was 9:15 when police pulled off East Hayti Drive with 51-year-old Gene Charlton in the backseat of a cruiser. He was taken to the Berea Police Department for questioning after negotiators talked him out of the home and then tased him. Police say the 51-year-old barricaded himself inside the home with a woman and 2 juveniles. He told police he had a gun. Neighbors were evacuated while police worked to defuse the situation. They tell us there had recently been signs of trouble.
I knew that he said he was going to murder her. He was going to murder the family. He went to her job and told her boss and some other people that he was going to kill everybody that helped her and kill her and the kids for leaving him.
Charlton will face kidnapping charges. In Berea, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Caitlin, thank you. And WKYT News has learned that the woman in the home had filed for an emergency protective order against Charlton. Police tell us he could face further charges. 3 years ago today, a Kentucky police officer was murdered, and his killer remains on the loose. Bardstown officer Jason Ellis was ambushed while removing debris from the Bluegrass Parkway. The city council there has proclaimed today Officer Jason Ellis Day. They're asking people to leave their porch lights on tonight and to display blue lights in remembrance.
We've hit the middle of the work week and the humidity is really ramping up this afternoon. This will increase our rain chances as we head into the holiday weekend. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is live in our First Alert Weather Center now with details. Micah.
Yeah, we have clouds overhead right now. It's not the bright blue sunny skies like we've had the past 3 days, but it's still not all that bad. We're not seeing that much rain in the forecast right now, but I do expect at least a couple of rumbles later on this afternoon as we have a system back toward the west head our direction. So you can see right now there's really not much out there, but look back west. Yeah, here comes a little complex headed our way. Depends on the timing of it, but I'd still expect it actually give off a few rumbles of thunder, especially westbound, west of I-75, before the sun does set. Live sky camera, there's your shot. It's not all that bad. Temperatures are there in the 70s. Actually feels pretty good at this moment. We'll finish off in the mid-80s. Humidity on the rise. A couple of rumbles of thunder later on this afternoon. They'll be kind of hit and miss. But today and tomorrow, your better opportunities of rain. I'll show you if we do have any severe weather threat. And also, what about your weekend forecast? Traveling, heading out to the lake. I'm going to give you that in just a few minutes.
All right, Micah, thank you. We turn to breaking news now involving the UK basketball team, and it's good news for Big Blue fans. It appears freshman guard Isaiah Briscoe is coming back for his sophomore season. Briscoe posted on his Twitter page, "BBN, I'm back." He tested the NBA waters, working out for several teams. We'll have more on Briscoe's return in sports in about 15 minutes.
After 1 year on the job, the Fayette County School Superintendent is about to make some major changes. 5 reviews conducted by independent auditors found an achievement gap in all grades district-wide. And WKYT Sean Moody is live with a look at Manny Koch's vision for the system's future. Sean?
Hey there, Bill. This is the recommendation packet that Manny Koch handed out today. He's calling it the blueprint for student success. There's a lot of stuff in here. We're still going through it. This just wrapped up about 40 minutes ago. But parents I talked to after the news conference said they had a lot of confidence in him. They were pretty optimistic about the future of the school system. They say in the past they've heard promises that weren't followed through on. Today, they're hoping that changes. Superintendent Manny Koch says he'll restructure the central office. He said that was one of the big things that jumped out at him from the state report that brought Fayette County schools to this point. He also talked about addressing that achievement gap. Koch plans to hire more teachers over the next few years for special education, ESL, and gifted talented programs. In all, there are about 100 recommendations in the blueprint that Koch laid out today. He says it's important that everyone involved in Fayette County schools adopt each of these recommendations.
I want to be clear. This is not a menu option. You can't look through these 100 strategies and say, I like this one, but I may not be so inclined to support the other. There's no cherry picking. You have to be all in. Our students deserve that.
There were some parents in the room today when this was first unveiled. We expect there will likely be a lot more tonight at 6 o'clock. That's when Koch will unveil this plan to the public at Bryan Station High School. Live in Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
All right, sounds like an ambitious plan. Sean, thank you. The Fayette County school system also has posted the plan online. We'll be adding that to our website just as soon as that's available. It's going to be just a little while. We'll get that up. Our investigative team at WKYT has made the drug epidemic in Kentucky a focus over the last couple of years. Thousands in the state are affected by drug abuse. And tonight we'll hear one woman's story of recovery. At one of her low points, her 6-year-old daughter found her overdosed on fentanyl, a drug that is 50 times stronger than heroin.
The only thing that I remember is before waking up in the ambulance was I heard somebody say, she's been gone for 20 minutes, let's get her out of here.
Tonight on WKYT News at 6, you'll hear what she has to say to others suffering from drug addiction and what ended up stopping a 19-year cycle of drugs for her. Well, some protests, and they turned violent at a Donald Trump rally in New Mexico amid news that he may be getting a key endorsement later this week. We'll take you out on the campaign trail coming up on Kentucky's #1 Midday News.
Also ahead, Kentucky native Johnny Depp is still picking fights with the Australian minister a year after a legal battle over illegally bringing his dogs into the country. We'll have the latest on their war of words next on WKYT.
Welcome back to WKYT News at noon on this busy day. The election turned violent again overnight as protesters in Albuquerque stormed through barricades and clashed with police outside a Donald Trump rally.
Officials there are calling it a riot. Mark Albert has the latest from the campaign trail.
Smoke filled the air as police in riot gear clashed with anti-Trump protesters. Albuquerque police say several officers were hurt. A glass door was smashed and one person arrested. On Twitter, Trump said the protesters in New Mexico were thugs who were flying the Mexican flag. The rally inside was big and beautiful, but outside, criminals. Inside, protesters repeatedly interrupted the businessman's speech.
You can get him out. Get him out.
When he did speak, Trump focused on his likely Democratic opponent, Hillary Clinton.
She screams, it drives me crazy. I didn't say. I can't listen. She goes, and Donald Trump is a terrible person.
Clinton is firing back, accusing Trump of trying to capitalize off the housing market crash. The Clinton campaign is playing up a 2006 Trump comment that, quote, I sort of hope that happens, because then people like me would go in and buy like crazy.
Why on earth would we elect somebody president who actually rooted for the collapse of the mortgage market?
Both candidates will campaign in California today, where police warned people going to Trump's event that we will not tolerate violence or disobedience of the law during the upcoming rally in Anaheim. Mark Albert for CBS News, the White House.
Now, Donald Trump is expected to give a news conference about last night's riot ahead of his event in Anaheim, California this afternoon.
A top TSA official is on Capitol Hill here at midday. He's testifying over those long security lines at United States airports. Peter Neffinger is expected to answer questions about staffing issues that disrupted travel in recent weeks. He will also likely have to explain exactly what prompted the firing of the agency's top security official, Kelly Hagen. The House has passed a bill to make it easier for state and local governments to use pesticides against mosquitoes. Republicans say it is to prevent the spread of the Zika virus and to get past ridiculous EPA regulations, as they term them. But some Democrats call the move a cop-out, saying that it ignores the need for additional funding to fight the virus. President Obama requested $1.9 billion. The House only approved a third of that. Actor and Kentucky native Johnny Depp and the Australian Deputy Prime Minister have renewed their war of words.
Depp and Barnaby Joyce have been at odds since Depp's wife Amber Heard failed to declare the couple's 2 dogs last year. Depp and Heard later released an awkward video apologizing for their actions and urging people to respect Australia's biosecurity. Joyce mocked the video, saying Depp looked like he was, quote, auditioning for The Godfather. Depp hit back on Jimmy Kimmel Live that Joyce, quote, looks like he's inbred with a tomato, and I thought he might explode. I guess that's Johnny being Johnny.
I'm Michelle Chamberlain. Coming up at 12:30, Lextran's new headquarters are now open. How this new facility will help you, the customer, that's coming up.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
It's not a bad looking rest of the day. We have a mixture of sun and clouds outside and even a couple of sprinkles here and there, but for the most part we're dry the next few hours. Now as you get towards your 4 to about 8 p.m. time frame, that's when we start to see a couple of rumbles spark up. So if you're trying to make some plans the rest of the day, trying to head out to the grocery store and knock out some of these errands before maybe the kids get home, the best time to do it would be within the next couple of hours. That's the best time. 78 degrees now in Jackson. We're 76 down south and to London-Corbin area. And the setup here is the front back toward the west. That's keeping the strong, potentially severe storms right across the Plain States. What that means for us is it keeps those there. That's number one. Number two is it's pulling in a lot of that moisture and a lot of the warm air. So we will be left with this sticky feel the next several days until this front actually makes its way through. And I don't see it make its way through anytime soon. So we will be left with a couple of rumbles of thunder out of this system back toward the west, just throwing little impulses our direction. We'll see one later on today. Memorial Day weekend, it's a straightforward forecast now through really next week. We're talking a few storms there each and every single day. When I say a few storms, I literally mean a few storms. We're going to get about a 30-40% chance of rain now through next week, each and every day. but for the most part, it's dry, and temperatures will be there in the mid-80s. So I'd say keep to any plans you have going on. There are a lot of events happening as you slide towards your Friday and into the weekend. Even though it's Memorial Day, there's still a lot of events going on. Spring trade days kicking off there in Richmond this weekend, starting Saturday, and it looks like Saturday only a 30% chance of rain right now. So I'd stick to a lot of your plans Saturday, Sunday, off into Monday. If you're traveling Friday or Monday, those are smaller chances of rain too, so it doesn't look like you're going to have to roll through a lot of rain with that. Also, still looking at the possibility of a developing storm there about 4 to 5 days out from now, which would put you at that holiday weekend and off into Monday across the Carolinas and northern portions of Florida. Not the northern portion of the peninsula, but right up there by Jacksonville, right up there, right as it connects with South Carolina.
Hilton
there could be a
Heads,
storm.
all
Yeah,
those
that's
locations,
right.
yeah.
A lot traveling over there, so just keep that in mind.
A lot of folks will have to
Thank
watch
you.
on that.
Yes.
Coming back on WKYT News, decision day for former Wildcats.
Dave Baker has the breaking details on Isaiah Briscoe and Marcus Lee next in sports.
And we'll check stocks as we head to break this afternoon, and the major market indicators way up at midnight.
5 p.m. the deadline today for those underclassmen who declared for the draft to announce if they were coming back. And within the half hour, how about this? Both Isaiah Briscoe and Marcus Lee will not remain draft eligible, but Lee has been granted his release and is transferring from Kentucky. All right, so the Big Blue Nation, first of all, they exhale when Isaiah Briscoe tweeted about 45 minutes ago, BBN, I'm back. At 6'3", Briscoe started 33 games and was considered a long shot to turn pro when the process started, but his stock kept climbing. Last 2 days, he had workouts from Minnesota and Atlanta, the Hawks with 3 picks in the draft. And it was Evan Daniels of Scout who said Briscoe had complete trust in John Calipari and that it was a final talk with UK assistant Kenny Payne that helped him make up his mind. Briscoe averaged about 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Most draft experts had him ranked anywhere from 70th to 85th. And just minutes ago, UK released a statement saying that basketball junior forward Marcus Lee announced he will remove his name from the draft, but plans to transfer to complete his collegiate eligibility at another school. Upon completing his paperwork to withdraw from the draft, Lee will be granted a full release with no restrictions. Quote, Marcus Lee informed us today he's pulling his name out of the draft, but has decided he's going to transfer to a different school out west to be closer to his family, head coach John Calipari said. We talked through it together, discussed the team next season, which he said had no bearing on his decision. I also told him he was a semester away from graduating. With that said, he was still adamant that after combine experience, a year off regrouping would be the best thing. As always, I support my players and their decision. A few minutes ago, Lee issued a release saying he wanted to thank the University of Kentucky basketball staff and the Big Blue Nation for supporting me over the years. He apologized for taking so long, said he wanted to do what was right for himself and his family. He said, quote, I'll always think fondly of my time at Kentucky. So a lot more coming up on that throughout the day. Matthew Mitchell said he'd do whatever it took to get his UK women's program back on track, and he's turned to a Hall of Famer to help. Veteran college and WNBA coach Lynn Dunn is the latest addition to Mitchell's staff. Dunn retired from coaching in the WNBA in 2014. She turned 69 earlier this month. She's already an offensive consultant to Mitchell. Dunn is in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. She led the Indiana Fever to the WNBA title in 2012. She joins Kyra Elzy and Nia Butts as assistant coaches, and former Cat Amber Smith, who was hired as a member of the support staff. Tonight on the Big Blue Insider with Dick Gabriel, former Wildcat Eric Daniels, the newest assistant coach to Matthew Mitchell, Lynn Dunn, Neil Price of the UK Network talking baseball, and I bet they talk a little bit about the decisions of Isaiah Briscoe and Marcus Lee. That's coming up tonight at 6 on 630 WLAP. Much more coming up at 4 today, guys, and throughout the day on WKYT.com and Twitter. But for now, that's a look at sports on a busy Wednesday.
That it is. Thank you very much, Buzz. And there's a lot more news coming up in the next half hour of WKYT News at noon.
A suspected thief is showing remorse for stealing a boat from Frankfurt.
Coming up at 12:30, we'll take you to Owsley County, where investigators are trying to figure out if a fire that killed a 5-year-old was started on purpose.
Tonight's Powerball jackpot is $80 million, and Friday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $218 million.